Hello, everyone. I am humbled and honored to be here today among such wise voices for honoring the rights of nature and for honoring real solutions. I think it's really apt that I speak now following people who have tried to lay out some definitions for what is climate justice and what is a climate solution. There's a lot of important legislature on the Rise and Repair platform this year. But I'm here to speak specifically today to defend Minnesota's 31-year-old nuclear moratorium. All right? I'm talking about House File 9, Senate File 350, Senate File 718, and Senate File 572. They are going to keep putting in files until they try to push this through. So it is going to take all of us together to declare that this is not a climate solution. The nuclear moratorium is a powerful piece of legislation to protect Minnesotans from wasted tax dollars and energy that poisons the water, air, land, and people of this state. Attempts to repeal this moratorium have failed time and again because it is important and necessary. Minnesotans must stand to protect the nuclear moratorium, and here is why. Nuclear power as a solution to climate change is a delusion. Nuclear takes 10 to 22 years to build, compared to 1 to 5 for wind and solar. No reactor can come online quickly enough to address our urgent transition to carbon-free electricity. That is, if a new reactor could even be completed successfully. Only 2 new reactors were built in the last 30 years, and each took twice the estimated time and cost. 2 other new reactors attempted in the last 30 years in South Carolina were abandoned unfinished, but not before they wasted $9 billion without generating any electricity. People talk about small modular reactors. That's what Microsoft and others want us to think is going to be the new technological fix. There's not a single SMR that is commercially available today, and the first SMR to be licensed in the United States failed because the costs rose so astronomically that the subscribers who were going to buy that power said, no, thank you, we don't want that. Okay? Minnesotans have the same power to do that. Ratepayers in the states with new reactors are now covering billions of dollars in cost overruns, while the reactor operators report billions in profits. That is the real reason for the nuclear push, for the nuclear renaissance. In addition to being the most expensive way to generate electricity, nuclear is also the most profitable for the power company. Nuclear is not green, it is not clean, it is not carbon-free. Nuclear produces routine and accidental radioactive releases. It leaves a legacy of dangerously radioactive waste that must be stored for 240,000 years and requires uranium fuel that is not renewable. It must be constantly mined, processed, and transported, and generates deplorable human rights and environmental justice violations for the communities that bear the brunt of this burden. Senator Frentz and Senator Matthews, who are pushing this moratorium repeal legislation, have been quoted saying they do not want this waste stored in their districts, but they are willing to commit Minnesotans to accumulating millions of pounds of what the Government Accountability Office calls one of the most hazardous substances created by humans, in addition to the several million pounds of nuclear waste already stored in Minnesota. While nuclear takes taxpayer dollars away from investment in actual renewable energy transition, the power company and the data center tech giants profit. Leading energy experts have shown Minnesota, the US, and the world can transition to renewable energy generation without nuclear power. All right. So Minnesota, you can protect your hard-earned dollars, defend our clean air and water, and demand democratic renewable energy for the people by upholding Minnesota's nuclear moratorium. Thank you.